What's going on, people? Level Up Media. So in this video I will speak comparatively about two notable R&B groups from the 90s by the names of Total and 702. Now both of these groups were solidified on the music scene and they both have their own unique styles. Both were impactful and both had high quality jams. So let's start with Total. Total were formed in New Jersey in 1994. They have recorded and released two albums. Their first album went platinum and their second album went gold. 702 were formed in 1993 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they have released three albums, and just like Total, one has gone platinum and one went gold. So 702 and Total are pretty much on par with each other as far as how they started. They both formed at the same time. They both have one album that went platinum and one that went gold, and they both made their debut in the same year. So let's speak about it. Total's debut album featured several hits such as No One Else, Kissing You, Do You Think About Us, Don't Ever Change, and obviously the one that took the scene by storm, Can't You See. So that's 5 solidified jammers out of 12 tracks, which is not bad. And them 5 tracks were high quality jams for sure. 702 also had several hits on their debut album. The 3 that really stand out for me are Stilo, Get It Together, and Word Is Bond. Those 3 are absolute bangers and are the strongest tracks on the album in my opinion. So in summary, I think overall, Total's debut album was stronger than 702's, but only by a margin. Simply because Total had more top tier tracks and less mid tier tracks. But in 702's defense, although they had less tracks that stood out, the ones that did stand out really did stand out. Because those 2 tracks, Stilo and Get It Together, were huge on the music scene. So that's why I say I would give the edge to Total, but just marginally. So let's compare their second albums. For me, Total have 3 tracks that stand out on their second album, which are If You Want Me, that one goes hard as they use the legendary Busta Rhymes Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See beat. Then they have the track entitled Sitting at Home, where they use the Whitehead Brothers Forget I Was a G beat. And the last one I think that stands out is their track entitled Rain. Again, they're using a beat from somewhere else. I can't quite place it, but it's definitely from a hip hop track, maybe from Mobb Deep or one of them, but I'm not 100%. But yeah, those are the 3 standouts for me on their second album. So let's look at 702's second album. For me, they also have 3 standouts on that, which were Where My Girl's At, You'll Just Never Know, and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So those are the 3 standouts for me on their second album, in my opinion. So again, it's marginal between these 2. 3 standouts each on their second album. And I'm not saying that 702 and Total didn't have any other quality tunes on the album, because they did. But I think there were 3 that were their very best on the album. But I would go ahead and give the edge to 702 purely because those tracks that they used were original productions. And that's no slight to Total, but they were using beats that other artists already made hits on. And in this context, I think you would lose points for that. And again, that's no shade to Total. Those songs were absolute bangers and they do justice to those beats. But it's just a matter of highlighting 702's authenticity. So vocally, I think they have different tones and textures, but again, their vocal capacity is similar, and I think both groups sing within the same register, which is about 1.5 to 2 octaves. As far as their impact and status on the scene, I think they both had similar impact and they're both respected as prominent R&B trios. But my verdict is there's not much between these guys separating them, if anything, as far as impact and ability, and it probably comes down to a matter of preference. But shout out to both of these groups, 702 and Total, 2 iconic trios that made waves on the scene. So that's all from me, guys. Until the next time, I'll see you on the other side. Peace.